Hello, Patreon. Hello, YouTube. My name is Molly Flowers, and I'm here with your astrology forecast for the week of May 12th. Yay! So let's get to it. This week's green days, the whole week is green. The whole week has some green to it, some green energy, and this energy centers around well-being and taking advantage of opportunities to communicate, to clarify your position, to see a new health practitioner, get out of pain. We'll get into that. All green this week. Awesome. The red days this week are May 12 through 14. Okay, there's overlap. Some days are both. May 12 through 14, Monday through Wednesday, and then May 17th, Saturday, also has some friction to it. So let's get into it. You are probably feeling Jupiter's big energy by now because it's been on us for a while and it's getting stronger and stronger as we get closer to the exactitude of the celestial geometry coming together. Expect that May's Jupiter transits are going to show up 2 to 3 weeks before they're exact on May 15th and May 18th. All right, Jupiter square the nodes and Jupiter sextile Chiron. So we still have a few more days left of Jupiter squaring the nodes at this point. All right. We see this week both stress and harmony around Jupiter. The stress shows up as false assumptions, overly critical attitudes, gossip, and challenges to your beliefs. Jupiter squaring the nodes. Sometimes the best way through the fog is to follow your intuition. The opportunity side of things shows up in the realm of well-being. Chiron. Moving through the pain or resolving pain. You might find the help that you need or connect with the right therapist to get you on a good track. So improvement is possible this week. Go for what you want. Make that appointment. See that specialist. Whatever it is you need to do. This is a pretty good week to do it. So let's talk about the workplace. Jupiter squaring the nodes makes things busy and chaotic. Beware of analysis paralysis, especially from now to the 14th. Really the 9th through the 14th if you're watching this in advance. If you're one of my Patreon members, you get this a few weeks in advance. Awesome. Travel, legal red tape, and education may be especially prone to this sort of frustration. With persistence, though, you can come up with a hybrid solution to whatever issue is vexing you now. A hybrid of ideas that combines the best from all perspectives so that everyone involved feels included and respected. Best of all worlds here. So let's talk about love and connection. Venus spends all month in feisty Aries, so this week is no exception to that. Aries is a sign of selfishness, but also self-awareness and self-love. Gossip can still cause problems in a relationship or friend group, especially prior to the 14th, especially May 1st through the 14th as Jupiter squares the nodes. So beware of gossip. Let's talk about health and well-being. In medical and nutritional astrology, Jupiter rules the protective function of fat. Talked about this last week, but we'll go over it again. Why not? That old bugaboo cholesterol that's been demonized for so long, but really that's like blaming the fire department for the fire. Cholesterol serves a protective function in the body, showing up to patch up wounds caused by inflammation in the cardiovascular system. Cholesterol is also the precursor of a lot of your hormones, including sex hormones like estrogen and progesterone and testosterone, as well as the stress hormone cortisol. Jupiter sextile Chiron shows an opportunity to explore the subject of fats in the diet and how to heal your metabolism with a healthy balance of natural fats. Also avoiding toxic processed seed and nut oils and industrial fats. Avoiding those because they cause a lot of the inflammation that causes the cholesterol to show up, right? So cutting those out and cooking instead with healthy natural fats is an incredible step that is not that hard to take to level up your diet if that's you, if you're still using the old vegetable oils and corn oils and stuff. Avoiding toxic fats can help resolve inflammation, combat sugar cravings, improve cognition and mood so that you have more energy and better health. I could go on and on about fats during this Jupiter time, but first I want to gauge how interested you are. Leave me a comment if you want to hear some more. So let's talk about the moon and the lunar cycle and where we are with that. This week opens with the emotional current running high and deep with the gothic vibes of the full moon in Scorpio. Woo! The Scorpio full moon excavates the truth and may bring big feelings and secrets to light. If your head and your heart have been out of sync, this full moon may bring a test of your beliefs, your rationalizations, and your assumptions, showing you where you are BSing yourself and potentially revealing a new path forward. The moon's ruling planet Mars is sitting pretty in Leo, sign Mars likes to be in, showing activation of creativity and passion, but might also bring out inconsiderate or dominant behavior from people who find themselves deep in their process and overwhelmed by their feelings. This dynamic full moon opposes Uranus, planet of breakdowns, breakups, breakthroughs, breakaways, and lucky breaks. The full moon may bring about a needed liberation and reclaiming of your freedom. Good news. Another interesting thing about this full moon chart, we've got yardage. Yards. Like April's full moon, the May full moon is also the apex planet of a yod formation. A yod is sometimes called the finger of God, a fated formation, pointing toward evolution through discomfort and adjustment. The yod's apex is the full moon, meaning apex is the point of the yod. It makes a pointy shape. The apex is the point of the yod, and that is the full moon in Scorpio. Meaning emotionally, you might find yourself on a narrow path to healing that demands an emotionally honest threading of the needle to bring about a successful transformation. The yod formation's base planets drive the deep excavation and emotional evolution shown by this powerful Scorpio full moon. The base planets are that sextile that I talked about earlier, Jupiter sextile Chiron. It's about building your well-being in order to drive that evolution. Yes, here's an opportunity to take the initiative. Talk about what's on your mind and in your heart and connect the dots so that you can shift out of beliefs that limit your growth. Yay, that's great. That's awesome. Dig deep on this full moon because there's buried treasure in there. So the question is, what deep story do you need to rewrite about your life so that you can move forward with power and clarity? What kind of stories are you believing now that aren't true? And I pulled some tarot cards for this full moon. I pulled the Ace of Cups reversed. And that brings up the question, could you possibly be blocking your emotions from flowing toward new love and new connection? How might you be blocking the things you want from coming in, the things that might emotionally fulfill you right now? No, maybe you're just overwhelmed and you need that space, and that's fine too. And the reason I bring up overwhelm is because the Ten of Wands is here too. The Ten of Wands is about things that feel heavy in your life. It's about burnout. It's about things that burden you and weigh you down, right? So what is feeling heavy for you right now? How can you manage burnout if you need to? Maybe you need to turn the Ace of Cups right side up and do something fun. Do something that makes your heart feel good. But it looks like there may be a burden to release here for some of us. Yeah? So keep that in mind. After Monday's full moon, the moon moves into the third quarter And this is obviously the week after the full moon is the moon's third quarter. The moon still hides a lot of light during this quarter. So the first week of that waning moon tends to be pretty full of activity, pretty still emotional. There's still some of that emotional churn of the full moon that is still playing out. And the energies and the storylines that built up during the waxing moon also continue to release and play out. And if you need a refresher as to where we started the lunar cycle, go back and look at the April 28th forecast, because that covers the new moon energy, which was pretty intense, actually. And pay attention if you have your chart, if you know how to read your chart, pay attention especially to the house in your chart where that full moon took place. All right, because that's where some of that activity is going to center for you. And keep in mind that projects that you set in motion now will benefit or not. They will have the quality baked into them of a sustained release of energy over time. So if it's a project you want to build up and grow, or if it's something that you are trying to get out of your life for good and fast, this might not be the right quarter for it, but it is appropriate for a lot of the things that we want to succeed at generally. In a very general way. Yes. So I'm Molly Flowers. Subscribe to my YouTube. Go check out my Patreon if you're on YouTube. If you already see me on Patreon, thank you so much for being a subscriber. I really, really appreciate it. Enjoy your week, and grab the notes if you like for exact dates and times of the moon changing signs, the moon void course, and all the things that I've talked about today. Have a wonderful week, and I'll see you next time. Bye.